Hey everyone, this is Raymond, and wanted to showcase some updates. I removed some previous ones because the videos didn't turn out well. So anyway, still haven't fixed inventory stuff, but I've made some other progress. Um, got all that stuff working, of course, but we want to do something else here with another animation because we've already got all the jump movement working right. And now we can now swim. Do a little bit like that to get him back up higher. Or we can descend. Or we can swim backwards. I need to get a better backward animation. But I think I know the solution to that one. I can do a real quick test. Yeah. That is an easy fix. So, yep, there we go. And when we get to a certain point closer to the water, we can come out of it. Or we can jump back in. But the swimming also takes energy. So we've got that part in there now. You try holding it upward to try and keep it excessively above water, we deplete the energy. So take your finger off the space bar once you get back to the surface level so you can breathe. And I will be looking at the possibility of making it to where if you're underwater for too long, without some kind of special breathing device, you'll have issues. But the water in here is working pretty good too as far as coloring. I was going to try to get some like ripples created from like little lakes from player movement, but didn't quite turn out too well. And I really wanted to get this part working first, and I really got to try to figure out a way to keep him from going through that stuff. And probably have to just like, when I actually create or get help actually creating the male and the female model characters, we'll probably need to create the colliders around each one of the particular bone joints and things like that, especially around the head to keep it going through walls. But otherwise, yeah. And part of the problem is I haven't found the solution for it yet. But when we go in here, when we touch male clone, it's because when we're utilizing the animations, we have this thing going on. And we kind of need it to be that way, but it doesn't tilt with the character or anything like that. So even with like these little things with like the IK and seeing the movement and all that stuff, we don't really get much more than that. So it'd actually have to be something a little bit more manual, like going in here. You can't see where all the joints are, but we'd actually go for the bones. We have the hips, legs, spine. Going up the spine now. Got the neck. And we got the head. And we would act something like box collider around the noggin. Actually, let's see here. And so we would want to probably shrink it down to something like 2. Seems about a good spot. And then the benefit of doing that, see if it works like I think it does. Nope. Well, doggone it. should have worked because it's not triggered. Yeah, that should have created some kind of like resistance. You know, especially like right there. Like it does when you're making collisions with the ground, so I guess that's something I'm going to have to figure out how to make work correctly later. But let's just go ahead and take that off now, since that was a wasted experiment. But it was an important one nonetheless, a little learning lesson there with me, and anybody else who's watching. So maybe it requires me to actually do that out of scene, so I can always try that here in a little bit. But as far as a lot of the other functions go, that was definitely one of the harder ones. I spent the last several days, about a week, trying to actually get the swimming working right, and not like when we go like right here and shoot out on your belly before getting up in there, or falling through the side of the walls and whatever. And I decided to cheat and just use Unity's default blocks to create these barrier areas for basically the water pool. So I plan on actually keeping that. When this scene develops more, we can build more around that. I did this thing so that it follows with the whole vortex. And so, like I was saying before, you can actually see where it's supposed to lead. I removed the portal in that location, so that's going to need to be changed. So let's go ahead and turn that off. But I did create this new version of the teleporter with CyberEthic global links. So we'll still be able to use these for like the main default places, but I was thinking these would be like added for specialty locations. But you kind of will find these in different spots, maybe challenges, maybe particular holiday or seasonal ones. But instead, let's just go directly to that maze, because I did do something else that was kind of a little trick. And it should have the camera at the same angle we go in, so, and it does. So always remember that's the way it's set up. And just for the Hellraiser fans, I put that up there, little Leviathan, but it's not really what I was going to do here. I gotta make the clones where they receive the actual shadows when they enter in different scenes. So that it looks better, but let me go ahead and turn that down a bit. There we go. What I did to make things build it faster for this maze is I actually created two main scripts, and that's a tile generator for the ground area and a maze generator where you use the 3x3 blocks, again something that Unity has. We can just expand them from like 1 by 1 by 1 for that scale to 3 by 3 by 3, and can determine how tall we want it to be, whether it's 4 or 5 tall. If we do 4, then we end up with a 5th level that acts as like blocking roofs in different spots. And I have a clearance area that we're standing in right now. It's 20 by 20, so they can be our portal spot while we try to look for some of the exit points. And you might not be able to see it too well with your camera. See if I can get a good view angle. But I do have water drops on the tile, matching with the particle rain that I created, which also goes with some of the ambient noise. And I toned down the lightning flashes quite a bit, so they're still effective, they still do their job. And then I've got these illuminations, these lights, and when you put them in here, and in this case I set them like 8, it's like every 8 blocks or so you'll have one of these show up. So actually the lower number creates more of them, whereas the higher numbers create less. Make it simple. But this allowed me to generate a maze a lot faster, instead of the tedious work of placing everything piece by piece. And same with the ground generator. And then we can just basically explore through different areas here. I don't have many actual like monsters or anything in here, but one of the things that I thought maybe we could do is turn this into one of the challenge areas where we can either use like paintball type gun type thing, there's all kinds of possibilities because it's easy to get lost in here too. And if you hit regenerate again, everything in here would shift and turn into a different scene completely, so it would never go back to the same scene at all. Which means what you thought was the exit one time wouldn't be that the next. But instead of doing that as a random thing, I made it to where you have to actually hit the generator to do it. Just so it's not that bad. Badness is one thing, insane is another. Plus, I want to actually give people a chance to actually find their way out of these things. Some of the other things that you already know about that I've got is where we can earn coins, earn XP, stuff like that. I'm going to be working on seeing if we can do any kind of like animation thing that will automatically trigger something here and compile as we earn different like dance moves or whatever, just like expressions, or some people call them the emojis, but they're not the emoticons, which is the characters you usually see with like the smiley faces. I guess emotes would be the actual one for emotional expressions. Something like that. I did try to get kind of like a trippy effect going, and it turned out really bad. And it was like, for what it is, I'm not going to fight with it, and I'll let somebody else help with that one if they know how, just so we can eliminate unnecessary extras. I was also thinking about maybe like having piles of bones in here, like representing people who didn't quite make it out. Maybe have like little weird rat-like things scurrying about. Not really there to hurt you, but more or less to avoid you, unless you corner them or something. So that would just be some like minor stuff. But I am working working on getting a lot of the features in place, the main ones. Even some of the ones that were originally promised that we never had fulfilled with that one thing from about a decade ago. It's hard to believe it's already been over 10 years. Such a trip. But this is all the result of me working my ass off trying to keep a promise. And I'm doing it, so. However you feel about that, that's really up to you. I said I would give it my all, and I've been giving it my all for quite a while, including periodic times of health pretty much kicking me where the sun don't shine. And a little bit more up front. But anyways, I'm also going to have us have our little, default home location. We definitely need to work on the lighting a little bit more in here. But this kind of tells you what time in the morning it is for me. Literally. That's about 5:08. And I might put some of the little bit of rain outside on there for the winter season. Be a little ahead of time. And then I have this here. So you can return back to the main area. Then I've got these little figures here. That one, whenever we load, automatically spawns. I want to show you how, by getting this one that relies on us getting closer. So there's that one. And then this one requires us to stand on there to get the NPC to rise. And then the other things I've got here is the ability to open and close doors. Eventually, when I find the right animations that work with it, I might actually add it in or just keep it as this. It doesn't have to be extreme. And you notice that I fixed the clipping issue. Basically, the field of view. So that resolves quite a bit. And yeah, we can open and close that. And it's actually set as a door, that's why it's saying that. But then we got the side doors. And the single sliding door. And then of course, as I think I showed before in the other video, it's like slaps at him. That's a strong hand. But I got it set up too where you're not going to be running until you get done pushing the pickup button or whatever. And see if this works. So we were able to grab that while doing that. And just picking up stuff. And then of course, I still have this working. We'll just do all for now. And I wish it wasn't throwing stuff that far. I would rather it be closer to about here. Especially if it's like if you're picking up something off the table or something. But we also have the trash each individual thing, or we can purge it all. So that's all working. the part that I have not gotten working, and it's been really kind of bothering me, is being able to actually have consumables like the fruit symbol, things falling out of the tree, to be able to like replenish your energy and health instead of just doing that. Being able to pick something up off like a table and then equipping it. So like go in here and you get your gear and you need your firearms. You set up like that, ready to go. Other gear might be body armor or something like that. I haven't put that in there, but it should certainly be in there. Flashlights would definitely be something that we would need for the maze-like areas where it's dark, but need to be able to have some way to be able to put stuff in. But in any case, we'll definitely have a lot of that. But I think I've got armor in here, maybe. No, I don't. I might change that category from animated to armor. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, actually, we should put armor in this one because it's part of gear. Yeah. But see, that's the whole thing. You guys can help me with coming up with categories that fill these up a little bit better. Basic stuff like your for supplies, food, drinks, cooking, cleaning, medicine, first aid, boosts. Basically think adrenaline. Collectibles be something like when we have stuff that we don't make anymore, that people save. Resources. Not quite sure we really need that when we've already got the supplies here, which kind of covers resources. But yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to help me kind of improve these categories, feel free to take notes. And maybe I can just like reduce the number of these down and put them in a better structure or order. And we can also see if we can find somebody that can help me get this thing to work the rest of the way. And then also have this dialogue with a quest system working, so if we do find something to complete a quest, like finding a fruit and then bringing it to them, it's, just kind of a teaching how to use the tools kind of thing, then we'll actually get at doing so. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at now. This, of course, does the snap photo thing. I haven't put the questions in yet again. I'm going to redo it based on controls for like just general information or questions. Definitely want to get something like this worked out for when we do get this online for people. And definitely want to have that running. Definitely want this running big time. We do want to have our Dropbox for notices, and then like email sent by either other people, like friends, whatever, that actually have it. And then like Dropbox for in-world messages. But I'm kind of thinking that might be better if we just get rid of that envelope and just go with our own and just have this be the mail. Just keep it different. And far as, find people in general, see how many people are online, friends online, however many, click that, have a list, all that good stuff. People that you put on your band list, you can do that to block somebody in the main world, or go in here and clear them out. Or if you find somebody from here that's not in your friend list, just add them that way. So a couple ways to do that. But it's just, kind of concepts that need to kind of come together. And I'm getting a lot of the foundations in place, and after that's, with a lot of the main stuff, then it's just the polish and then actually working on the environment. But if somebody wants to help actually create the scene, which basically is this area we're in, the zone, if you will, then by all means let me know. 3D modeling, whatever, anything you think you'd like to see put in here. Buildings, like maybe an employment agency thing like used to be on that one. It's a way to earn coin or credit. Different things like that. And definitely when we get all the main stuff here, then we can work on building, literally having like building materials, and players able to actually not only build up their own locations and use some of those tools that I created, but also be able to upload some of their own content, and maybe add some stuff for the base characters. But these base models, I do intend to having them replaced, but I might have them on display as just kind of like demo what was used in the construction process. But I'm also going to try to get this to where if you walk on it again, that one will deactivate, and when you walk away from this one, it'll deactivate. And this would probably be something that would be for like enemy areas. Where they start patrolling after they spawn into place. So, yeah, I am way closer than people realize on having a lot of the other stuff that we all wanted to see come back. I'm actually a lot closer. With your support, we can actually do this now. Alright, well, it's been kind of a lot longer video than I intended, but at least you got to see a lot of the basics and some of the main stuff, and some of the improvements that I got going. Thank you very much for taking time to watch this video. Stay safe, take care of one another, and try to stay cool on a hot day and stay warm on a cold day. Have a good morning and night, wherever you are.